This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
It feels like at this point, even though Owen, a lot of people thought, oh, well, given what happened with Brett, if Sean's got the belt, we can at least get a couple of pay-per-views out of that. It doesn't happen. And with him joining the nation and you sort of flip-flopping from the NWA faction to a country singer, it feels almost like you're just sort of floating at this point. Like there's not a real firm creative direction for either one of you. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I would agree 100%. Again, it goes back to both second generation wrestlers, and in those days, and during that Attitude Era, the in-ring product, as far as in-ring work, was completely irrelevant on a few different levels, but also the characters around both of us. Again, we were still quasi viewed as new generation stars. That's just sort of the fact. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but me and Owen both had become really Attitude Era personas, so to speak.
Let's talk about Attitude Era. You know, we had a really touching story earlier about you two going to Jerusalem, and now we got people pointing at their crotches and yelling "suck it" and middle fingers and "I'm going to kick your ass" and beer baths and nipples flying around, and it's a crazy time in wrestling. Did Owen ever talk to you about how he felt about the content of the business and how it had changed as long as he had been here?
He wasn't a fan of it. I want to make sure, because my mind drifted off there just here, that because you were saying, did Owen ever talk to me about,
hey Jeff, I can't let my kids watch this show anymore.
Yes.
It used to be wholesome entertainment. Now we got girls showing their boobs and guys saying suck it.
It was, what is going on? And I can remember telling Owen a story that I came off the road and there was a deacon, I think that was his time, but a church member that had a big issue, like a really big issue with the product going on in the ring. And I don't want to say me going to the church, but there was a big, I mean, that's how living during that era and the shock TV that went on with it. And it's hard to really in 2021. So, you know, somebody who's 30 years old now, or even 35 years old, they were so small. It's hard to put it in context, but it was very, very much water cooler talk. No matter if you watched it or didn't watch it, the ratings against Monday Night Football, the box office attractions, Austin was red hot. Rock was coming into his own red hot. All Nash and Hogan. I mean, the business, there was no streaming, all the obvious. So it was red hot. And the direction that it was taking certainly was far away from Stu and Jerry Jarrett's vision of professional wrestling. And it goes without saying, some of the, R-rated, if you will, content didn't sit well with Owen at all.
You mean Lawler didn't used to, never mind. That night, Owen Hart opened up teaming with Coco Beware. They were high energy. They're going to defeat the Nasty Boys. Is that your first time seeing Owen wrestle in person in real life?
Yes. And the Nasty Boys, which is, oh boy, I could talk a long time about Knobs and Sacks, but they came through Tennessee. I'd met them on AWA taping when they were like true rookies. And then they became the Nasty Boys, and they came to Tennessee, and we hang out and became really close. To this day, we're buds. And, it's one of those deals that when you really break in together, you go way back with those guys. But seeing those guys and in my mind, picking up those WWF paychecks, I can remember thinking, damn, they're terrible. Their in-ring work is terrible. Their promos are, man, what a great gimmick. But they're up there with Coco and Owen. It just felt such like no connection for me.
Mismatch, yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, that I do remember it.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.